Hey y'all, Skidwax here. Welcome back to the conclusion of Ranked Season 24 on World of Warships Legends on console. So let's get those rounds in the air, the torp's back in the water. If you've followed this series, you'll know all the commander and ship build details we used on the Vima to fight through Season 24. And if you haven't, feel free to go back and check out Part 1 and Part 2 of this series. We're getting right back into the action as we continue our climb from where we left off at Rank 3 and our quest for Rank 1. Let's get it on. Alright, first up Rank 3, the York. Like the last time we faced a York from the northern spawn on this map, I'm going to again decide to swing out a little further than normal. The enemy comes out right where we expect them, and we start the damage grid. Oh, why do I do this to myself? Double Citadel. Now we repay the York with one Citadel, but we have to catch up here, so we're just going to have to keep APing and HEing this guy as best we can. There's a very good chance that York is going to come back around and attempt to use his torps. And as predicted, the player accommodates. Unfortunately for the York, he's coming out too close to the island and cannot fire over top of it to hit us. I would wager that the player is really considering trying to get torps down the lane at us, but the constant AP shelling is making him think otherwise. However, he's doing a great job of protecting their weak side panels, which is going to make it a little hard to get a Citadel. We've regained the lead on damage so far, and as we back away and vary our speed, we'll have to keep our damage down and increase our damage output. We light him on fire and just keep the barrages flowing at him. This is going to keep our enemy at arm's length and have him right where we want him.
Main turret critically damaged. Problem solved, sir.
Let's chalk it up as another win and get on to the next. We faced a lot of battleships over the last 4 seasons, and on Tears of the Desert, my main goal is to head directly into the cap, determine which way around the island the BB is going to go, and then once their anticipated path is identified, go the other way. The sweet spot for my cruiser on this map is this corner at the AB crossover cap. If a ship comes in and heads in the westerly or southerly directions, they open themselves up to a strong torpedo salvo, even if the torps miss. It will typically slow down the enemy and leave them in the cap where we can farm defends and light fires from behind the islands using our planes for spotting. This time round, we lose our plane early, and it's going to be a little while until it regenerates. Oh, a triple torp strike. Oh man, that feels good. I opt to go a little riskier than normal and swing out to torp to the rear starboard side. Third volley's a charm, no risk, no reward, and considering we just hit for 3 floods, we know they used their DCP. It's a great chance to try and get some more early damage before they start putting holes in the sides of the Vima. The plan from here is to whip around to the north side of the island, put some terrain between us and the enemy. But for that to happen, we're going to need the enemy to turn to the west. For our torpedo efforts, we take a direct Citadel through the rear. But brother, we land yet another torpedo, and we're filling up the jacuzzis on the knives now. If he stays his course, it'll block our turn and we'll have to make a straight shot for the southeast corner of the map in a kiting fashion. So now we're danger close and we're out of torps and need a new plan. We can't turn left, we can't turn right. It's an easy plan. Run! And that's exactly what we do. As fast as this ship will take us, kiting and fighting, we're getting out of here. We just have to minimize how much damage we take. AP rounds from the Vima, so nasty. Cha-ching, another yellow star. And that puts us 2 stars into rank 3. We're 12-1 and back on a 5-game win streak. Ah, another York, another dollar. When facing a cruiser on direct approach maps, I have found it best to charge forward with either a slight maintained angle or a similar route using step turning while proceeding to the region of the edge of the cap. Once I've spotted the enemy, I open fire to clear the guns and then consider which ammunition to change to. In this instance, HE seems to be applicable. When playing against cruisers that have a longer reload time than I do, I want to maintain some distance between myself and the enemy. The easiest way to do that is stop. The longer distance gives me more time to react, while at the same time it makes the shot harder for my opponent to make. A change in direction and speed compounds that even more for the enemy. Simply dodging one enemy volley will get me ahead in the damage race. Now that our ship is stopped, well, it's cruiser v cruiser, so it's in full reverse from there. Because the island is so close behind me, I'm going to vary my direction and vary my turn, flashing my sides out to try and draw the enemy fire to that side and then cutting away when the guns fire. The more armor-piercing rounds I can entice my enemy into firing at me, the less damage I'm going to take head-on. Most of these rounds will just simply bounce off my bow for little to no damage. To throw my enemy off further, I'm going to charge forward, changing the direction of the ship, turning slightly side to side to make my enemy think that I'm about to either go broadside or change direction fully. Let's sit back and see how effective this method is, noting that the only real damage I take happens at 4.5 kilometers when I stop dodging and simply go for the kill shot. As a quick note, I'm not worried about torps here for two reasons. First, with that amount of distance, I should be able to dodge. Second, if the player swings out to torp, he'll leave himself open to a broadside shot with AB. Even if I don't get the Citadel, I should be able to put the player away in no time. Another frustrated customer, and another win under our belts. And that, my good friends, is rank 2. Ah, the Belfast. Now here's a ship I'd highly considered taking this season for this event. The problem was, for me, it didn't have torpedoes. My Belfast has only ever been built for hunting destroyers, and as such, the only thing I truly know about the ship is that it's agile, it hits destroyers and cruisers very well, and has great concealment, especially if it's firing from the smoke. This should be very interesting. I'm going to hold on to my torpedoes until I feel that the player has a very low chance of being able to stop. I'm essentially going to treat this player like a destroyer, and take the route and the mindset that the player will likely push the AB crossover cap. I assume the player will pop smoke, and we will have to push them at some point, but at least we won't have to worry about torps. It's our first time going head-to-head with one of these guys, and although I feel like I have an overwhelming advantage from the FIMA, I don't want to make the mistake of underestimating another player's creativity and skill. They chose Belfast. That's more creative than I was. I feel like I've made the right choice here, treating this player like a DD. He's capping, waiting for me to make a move, and well, I'm doing the same. It's like two dogs meeting on the ocean. You know, just getting to know each other, feeling each other out. We gotta make this butt sniffing stop here. So we send friendship torps. But they get around them without issue. Maybe just a little too friendly. So we've made another enemy come out around more contour. This allows for a quick Citadel and a quick change to HE rounds to start lighting them up on the front end. Kiting and fighting, we're ripping this Belfast apart quickly. For Season 24, this has been my favorite way to fight all season. It has allowed me to minimize my incoming damage and maximize my output damage against my enemy. Just another way to put myself in a successful place to win.
The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
And I know I'm being overcautious here, or maybe I just wanted this Belfast to do more. I almost chose this ship. Anyways, I could have just stopped and backed up with the sonar range, but instead I just drove off southeast. This is where Fox would tell me to stop playing with my food. So we'll just reverse until we pick him back up. My opponent comes out of the smoke broadside, and there's really not much else to do than fire on him and try and sink him.
Main turret critically damaged. Main turret critically damaged.
We can see the player's frustration and panic as they turn and fire, but run smack dab into an island. The player, however, is a sitting duck, and we should pick him apart very quickly. This will be over soon. I'm ever glad I didn't take the Belfast this season. Rough, bro. Apologies. That's not quite what I would call an island ramming strategy. But man, we're 2 stars away. Let's get into the next one. Well, to quote Scooby-Doo, ruh-roh. A Helena. I used to be a killer in one of these. I wonder how it measures up to the Vinyl one-on-one. Again, gonna have to be cautious. They have really hard-hitting rounds, and I'm gonna try and keep this guy at arm's length. The player has the RGA skill on, and I'm proximity spotted at 3 kilometers through the rock. And since I'm not running that skill, I'll have to pop sonar to track him. In hindsight, I guess I could have waited another 10 seconds, but it just reduces my chance for a torp strike. This is a great opportunity to reposition and mess with the player a bit. I think the player thinks I'm more towards the north of Alpha Cap than I am. I'm actually going to play this kind of opposite of the other game for caution, and I feel like I got to treat this player more of a battleship just because of his impact that he can have on the boat. And I hope to turn and torp and be ready to kite and fight again. But this guy's a black bear. He's more afraid of me than I am of him, I think. Ha! Screw it. Let's go get this guy. In hindsight, I probably should have cut to the south side of the island, making it much easier for me to attack my opponent from the rear and from a direction they wouldn't anticipate. However, here we are. Too late to go back now, so we'll push in on a proper angle, and we'll see what we can see. Proper-ish angling, and since there's no torp threat, it is time to push. There's a missed opportunity for a Citadel. I half expected the player to be coming out more nose first than that.
Main turret critically damaged. Problem solved, sir.
Well, he's tucked back behind the rock, but you know what that means. Means he can't resist to come back out and peek us one more time. We'll simply throw some torps at him, get skinny, and light him up as he tries to run away. Well, that's a successful torp run. Hells yeah. And I just lean into the player with everything, including the kitchen sink. AP, HE, it doesn't matter. Everything. Even a fade shot for the kill. Boom! 7 wins in a row. 1 game away from finishing ranked, and I'm stoked. Yet another Gneisenau. And this time we don't get by. Even with all the broadside AP shots, the 3 and 5K volleys, I couldn't seem to dodge enough just like that. Another 7-game win streak snapped. For the 4th season in a row, I faced a BB in the last star of rank 2. Man, my luck. First loss in a BB this season, only the second in this series. Chalk up our second loss. We got a 2 over rank 2, star 2. Here we go. Well, it's the Moss. In the rock, paper, scissors World of Warships, I have the advantage, and it's something I'm practicing. And well, against any destroyer, push. Push, push, push when you earn a cruiser. Just be sure to not get locked into a track that you can't get out of. Leave lots of room to turn. Turn, torp. This time, I'm heading straight back to this guy. I can see that after I fire my last volley of torps, that the Moss slows down. Guess we'll loop back and get him. Moss. Wonder what that translates to from German. Let's check. Weird. Says no translation. It must be the German word for Eleanor. Because this guy's about to be gone in 60 seconds. Ah, there's a joke in there. Don't worry, you'll find it. In the meantime, back to the action. Second hit kills the propulsion. Oh, he's dead in the water. And yeah, I know that island's coming up. You know I have this guy. I know I have this guy. His torps, they're inconsequential. Kevin, das Maß ist kaputt. Back to 1 game away. Game done, star back. We've bounced back nicely. No time to drop the ball now. I'd love a rematch with that other Nicenau, but nope. We get the York. And how fitting. We've seen a ton of them this season. Just gotta play this one real smart, real tight, not make any mistakes. We can lock this up. I'm not willing to turn here because I'm not letting a stray Citadel end me back into needing 2 stars again. It's the same principles as before. When we faced the last York, we backed up and kited. This time, because of the 90-degree approach, we simply turned away from the enemy to create that distance. I feel I'm doing a great job of enticing my enemy into thinking that he can Citadel me from that angle. He's committed to going for it, and the amount of AP rounds he's firing at me just confirms it. It's this kind of consistent angling that has kept my opponents frustrated the entire season and kept my damage reduced during that same time. Oh, first big volley. Oh, the second volley hits for some good damage. Oh, and the third one, that's just gonna wreck him. That was nice, 3 consistent shots in a row there. He opened himself up a little bit too much. We took advantage. Time to push. Just gotta watch out for those torpedoes. They don't really have another move here. And because that's what I'd do if I was in their shoes right now. And the torps won't be much of a surprise here, and I figure stop. Stop chasing the cruiser. Stop chasing the cruiser without getting the caps. It would be terrible to lose that way, so let's lock that down. We have him injured, he's on the ropes. There's no need to push hard. Patience. Just need to not screw this up. And yeah, it's pretty hard to screw up from this spot, but I've done stupider things. I'd never live it down if I died here. So in the interest of self-preservation, we'll just play it safe. I can probably fire over this rock, although I can't see the target. Line shots are just as good. We get some connection from the shot, but it's chicken scratch damage. No matter. It doesn't cost us anything to fire more rounds. And just like that, we finished ranked. Rank 1 all locked up. And I misranked already. Thank you for coming along for the journey from rank 9 all the way to rank 1. It's been a blast. I'll post my stats at the end of the video here. We went 17-2. What a great season that was. Look forward to seeing you on the next season where we get out of the cruiser and go brawling into Brandenburg. Tier 7's going to be tough, so we're just going to torp everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe below the video here on YouTube. And of course, we also stream World of Warships Legends 3 times a week on both Twitch and YouTube. If you'd like to check us out on the live stream or on our Discord, links in the description below, we'd love to see you. Hopefully I'll see you all out on the water stacking Krakens, but until then, y'all be good to each other and stay out of trouble. And if you can't stay out of trouble, y'all make sure you don't get caught. Till next time, I'm Skidwax from Skidwax Studios.
Horizon.
Confirmed penetration.